Okay, I had the same problem, and the only videos or information that I can find about my HD Dana 44 M220 in the rear of my Jeep was a write up. Thank you very much for Mr. Fixbroke for giving us kind of like a rundown of what happened. And I'm just going to scroll slowly. You can pause it to actually see what is written down about it. But I basically followed his information to a T. And so far, my service axle locker system or my flashing axle system has not come back. It did for the beginning, but it went away after that and it hasn't come back on for the next 5 days. Hopefully, within the next few thousand miles, I'll be able to give you guys an update with exactly what goes on. But if you don't hear from me, it's most likely because it fixed the problem and I'm carrying on with a faulty system that either Dana made or Jeep made with the locking differential. And drilling the hole in here was I used the same size drill bit that he did. And basically what we did was we needed to get through the contact of this, and a lot of my videos are only because I only have two hands and I couldn't do everything together. So take it with a grain of salt with how I said I did things in the video, and just understand that this is one of the components that can make the flashing problem. And if it goes solid, probably it's too late and you probably have to buy a whole new gear set in order to get this component. Dielectric grease, he said, was unnecessary. I went ahead and just got some as well. Don't pay attention to the right light out. It's LED. I've tried switching it over. The main topic for today is this flashing locker. And what's basically been going down is, even if I turn it off, the it's constantly going to flash. And what's going on is the oil's getting so hot, it's entering into the locker solenoid that's inside of the differential and leaking through the wires into the contact points on the outside of the differential. That's what I'm going to work on today, and I will show you guys quick skits on what is going down. First, I take off this drain cover. Well, this is the fill. And you can see that it was full. Second one, I'm going to take off the actual drain, and it looks like it's still purple. Let me show you guys why it's flashing while I'm draining this out. The last company who did this for me broke it, but if you look closely, it's kind of shiny. What that indicates is there fluid coming through there. And the way we're going to prevent fluid from coming through there is by potting. So I got to reach to the connector inside of there, take it out, put some RTV in, and I'm going to put some dielectric grease inside of these ones as well to ensure that it stays somewhat sealed. I just take a 10mm bolt, take out all those bolts, crack open this, and look how beautiful she looks. That is the part that is going to need potting. You can see some metal shavings on here because there is a magnet here. Can't focus properly. This is a T20 Torx, and the way I'm gonna get it out, because this bolt is on the way, is taking the T20 and I'm going to put a 1/4 inch open end on that and basically just turn it. Once I broke it loose, I'm just using a normal Allen so I can just work easier on that one to take it out. After unscrewing it, I basically just take this and I work it out. I'm gonna have to unplug this one, and while I'm here I can clean off all this metal shavings that was in there. So this is where all the oil is leaking into. It's going in, it's leaking from into here, going into here, leaking in there, going into here, getting to these connections, and making it want to permanently try to unlock when it hasn't even been locked. While the light is flashing, it's still salvageable. Like, all I have to do is just clean this out, pot this, put it back together, use some solvent that I'm going to put on this part right here, and secure it, and the flashing light should go away. So it looks like they've already tried to seal this one up. You see that right there? That's a dielectric grease. It's supposedly supposed to prevent fluid from getting inside of here and shorting the contacts. That's not working enough, so we're gonna have to do a little more work than just putting dielectric grease over here. And we are going to drill a hole in here, drill a hole in here, fill it with RTV, and hopefully that'll prevent fluid from coming out of this into the wiring. No turning back now. I just drilled my hole. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting the flat surface on here and I'm just squeezing. And I could tell that there was a lot of fluid inside of there because of the oil that's coming out with the RTV on the other side. Potting complete. I basically kept filling it up until all the oil stopped coming. And I fill up that little pocket. I went through a shit ton of tissue just to make it work. Okay, I wasn't counting on this part, but apparently this needs 24 hours to cure. And one of my good friends told me that to make it to where this cures quicker is by putting it in the oven for 150 degrees for 2 hours. The only reason I didn't go to 200 is because if there's air pockets inside of here, it would have bubbled and possibly compromised the integrity of the seal. Coast on. Okay, so there is my solenoid or computer switch, whatever you want to call it. I've let this cure enough. I spent about 2 hours in the oven, thanks to Robbie Bagwell for telling me to put it in the oven to help cure it quicker. I covered this one up with 2 bolts, just hand tight, to make sure that no dirt and debris was getting in there while we were letting this cure. And we will install it and see how it goes. So I cleaned off everything with brake clean, and I put some dielectric grease also inside of this one, including the one that's inside of there, hoping that this will be an extra measure for protecting it. I'm now filling up the differential with 75 weight 140. The only reason I'm going with the heavy duty is because I have the 392 and my gears seem to want to run a little hot. So I just kind of want it to remain somewhat lubricating instead of splash when it's running inside of there. This is how tired I was. I guess I just left my glasses there. My last trip that I made, I was told in order to clean off the contact points thoroughly or get the oil out of the contact points was to take brake fluid and spray it liberally through all contact points. I did it on the inside and I did it inside of that one. Don't mind the zip tie. The previous guys broke the tab, so I just got it zip tied shut. Today will be the day that I test out the flashing light. So far, no flashing light, but that could also indicate that I probably ruined it and it's not even turning on. Let's hope that that is not the problem. Let's hope it's fixed. I'll have to try out my locker switch after I give it a good run. I want to make sure I got no leaks. This is the real test, just to make sure that it is functioning properly. I'm just creeping along my my street. I'm going to hit the rear only, and I want that to go steady. It went off. Uh-oh. Okay, I just needed to stop. So basically I'm in park. I pressed the rear only and I got a steady locker light. I forgot I have to be stopped in order for the locker to work. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Lights off. Locker is engaged, and I'm going to creep forward just a smidge to see if I get some binding. I'm not going to snap it.